Before giving Dhamma talk, let's pay respect to the Buddha by reciting Namo Tassa 3 times. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Today, to give Dhamma talk, I choose one sutta from the Anguttara Nikaya. The name of sutta is Vitakkasaṇṭhāna Sutta. We translate the origin of unwholesome thoughts. The sutta's name, Vitakkasaṇṭhāna, consists of only 2 words, Vitakka and Saṇṭhāna. It is a short form of Vitakkasaṇṭhāna, which is used in the body content of the sutta. The meaning of Vitakkasaṇṭhāna is explained as follows. Originally, Vitakkasaṇṭhāna, 3 words are combined. But to make it short, they do only 2 words, Vitakkasaṇṭhāna. So to know the meaning, we need to go to the original one. Original words is Vitakkasaṇṭhāna. So Vitakka is thoughts. Saṅkhāra is the reason or cause which produces, makes, or creates thoughts. So if we combine these 2 words, Vitakkasaṇṭhāna. What is the meaning of Vitakkasaṇṭhāna? The cause of thought. The cause of thought. We should go another words. Another word is Saṇṭhāna. Saṇṭhāna is the location where the cause of thoughts exists. That is also another cause. So if we combine these 3 words, Vitakkasaṇṭhāna, the location of the cause of thoughts, can say the origin of thoughts. We can say another thing, the causes of thoughts. So that is the meaning of name. So now we understand about the meaning of sutta, but we need to change as Dhamma form. Vitakka, you may know already as thoughts. Vitakkasaṇṭhāna, the cause of thoughts. What is the cause of thoughts, especially unwholesome thoughts? what is the cause of unwholesome thoughts? Do you know the cause of unwholesome thoughts? Yes. According to commentary's explanation, the cause of unwholesome thoughts is improper attention, ayoniso manasikara. Some translate unwise attention, improper attention. If we have improper attention, unwholesomeness arises. What is improper attention? If we meet or we see something asubha, but we pay attention as a subha. According to reality, some are nature, but nature impermanence. But we pay attention as a permanence. Suffering, we pay attention as a pleasure. That is improper attention. If we have improper attention, unwholesomeness arises. So, Vitakkasaṇṭhāna, the cause of unwholesome thoughts is improper attention. So, you combine with another one, Vitakkasaṇṭhāna, the location of the cause of unwholesome thoughts. On the other hand, the origin of thoughts, another cause. So, the location of the cause of unwholesome thoughts is perversion of perception, Janakābhivaṃsa, perversion of perception, wrong perception, or perceiving wrongly. And that is the origin of unwholesome thoughts. So, for example, about our body, that is asubha, according to Buddha's teaching. But we perceive as a subha. Impermanence, but we perceive as a permanence. Suffering, but we perceive as a pleasure. So that is perversion of perception or wrong perception. The perversion of perception produces a lot of unwholesomeness. The anger arises because of that perversion of perception. Anger arises within us. Delusion arises within us because of the perversion of unwholesome perversion of perception. So, for example, our body asubha, but we know, we perceive as a subha. Suffering we perceive as a pleasure. So later the body shows his nature. Its nature is suffering. So at that time we have to be worried, because we cannot accept, we cannot perceive, we don't have perception rightly. Because of this case, we have to worry. If so, the sorrow, unwholesome thoughts arise. Now you understand Vitakka thoughts. Vitakkasaṇṭhāna, the cause of thought is improper attention. Vitakkasaṇṭhāna, the origin of thought, unwholesome thoughts. This is perversion of perception. So Vitakkasaṇṭhāna is the origin of unwholesome thoughts. That is the meaning. If we change as a Dhamma, perversion of perception. So by doing like that, the meaning of Sutta is become clear. What is the Dhamma of Sutta become clear. But this name is not related to all Sutta. Only a part of Sutta. A part of Sutta. So what kind of teaching we can find in this Sutta? By learning in this Sutta, we will know how to remove unwholesome thoughts. We will know the system, we will know the method, how to remove the unwholesome thoughts. So it is very important. Especially this Sutta is for the meditator. For the meditator, the Buddha teaches. But for the daily life also we can use. If we have unwholesome thoughts, if we want to remove unwholesome thoughts, we can use this Sutta. So now we should learn Sutta. We should read Sutta. Thus have I heard. On one occasion, the Blessed One was living at Savatthi in Jeta's grove, Anathapindika's park. There he addressed the bhikkhus thus: Bhikkhus, Venerable Sir, they replied. The Blessed One said this: Bhikkhus, when a bhikkhu is pursuing the higher mind, from time to time he should give attention to 5 signs or to 5 objects. So if someone want to practice Dhamma, if someone want to get higher mind is 8 absorption, which is the foundation of Vipassana. That is higher mind. If we do dana, sila, donation, respect, volunteer service, that is no higher mind. That is normal mind or local mind. Higher mind is referred to the 8 absorption, which is the foundation of Vipassana. That is higher mind. If someone want to get the higher mind, occasionally or timely, he should give attention to 5 objects. When we practice Dhamma, for example, Anapana, that is our main meditation object, let's say. When we practice with Anapana, sometimes we have unwholesome thoughts connected with delusion, with hatred, with craving. So what can I do? The Buddha, what can we do? The Buddha gave instruction. If so, that person should give attention to some other sign connected with what is wholesome. Should give attention to some other sign That is the first one. Some other objects. Translator here translate signs, but objects. We should say objects. So first of all, we pay attention Anapana, but unwholesome thought arise. Unwholesome thought arise. If so, we should change the object. We should pay attention another object related to wholesomeness. So that is a very short form. So to understand this clearly, we need to see commentary and to be clear. So sometimes we have unwholesome thoughts connected with desire, connected with craving, greed. So greed is two kinds. One is because of person, one is because of property. We should divide two them. If craving appear because of person, we should use Asubha meditation. We should change Asubha objects. Asubha objects. So, like that, by seeing other person, we may think he is beautiful, he is handsome, or she is beautiful, like that. If so, that is we pay attention as a subha. Subha. So craving arise. Craving arise. We should change to dispel that craving. We should pay attention as a asubha. How to pay attention? We should ask ourselves. Or you should ask yourself. Do you like the hair? Do you have attachment to the hair? Answer. Do you have attachment to the body hair like that? Should go 32 parts. All 32 parts: hair, body hair, skin, bone, flesh, sinew, bone marrow. Do you have attachment to bone marrow? Huh? Do you have attachments? Pus. Pus. Do you have attachments? Saliva, like that. So have to pay attention as a subha to dispel craving because of person. If so, we can dispel craving. That is the way to dispel craving because of person. Another method is should pay attention about the body. Our body rise up with 300 bones. According to literature, 300 bones. You should count yourself. 300 bones, rise up 300 bones timed by 900 sinews. Sinew is 900. 900 sinews be smeared with 900 pieces of flesh. Pieces of flesh. Enveloped by inner skin. After that, inner skin. Skin is to the inner skin, outer skin. Covered by outer skin. Many impurities come out from the body through 99,000 pores of the body. Body hair, 99,000 pores. If you don't believe it, you can count yourself. I'm sure. You can count yourself. 99,000 pores of the body hair. Through this pores, many impurities come out. So have to reflect. This body is full of foulness, bad smell, disgust. It is merely the collection of 32 foul parts. There is nothing superior in this body. So if we reflect like that, the greed, craving is dispelled from us. So that is the way to dispel craving because of beings. Another thing, next set there. Sometimes we have craving because of properties. Because of objects other than due to persons. If so, one should pay attention the object of impermanence, anicca. As a anicca, we should pay attention. So, to pay attention as a anicca, in the literature shows two ways. One is asamika bhava. Asamika bhava is the state of not being an owner. The state of not being an owner. For example, we have a bowl, we have robes. That is for the bhikkhus. For the lay people, many things. Huh? For the lay people, many things. So sometimes we have attachment or craving because of properties. But we should pay attention the state of not being an owner. As time passes, our robe become dirty, become destroyed like that. Become as a pieces, become change color like that. So cannot exist like that, cannot stand like that. Later can destroy, can disappear like that. So if we are owner, if we are real owner, we should control not to disappear, not to old, not to change color, not to out of date. Because we are not owner. We cannot control the properties. So the nature of property can be destroyed later. Later become disgusted like that. So that is the state of not being an owner. Another method is Tawakalika bhava. Tawakalika bhava is the state of being short-lived. Every properties or objects has the state of being short-lived, cannot exist a long time, cannot last a long time. One day break, destroyed like that. So should reflect upon this. By reflecting like this, we can dispel craving because of properties. That is the way to dispel craving because of properties. So we should go about hatred. Sometimes we have hatred. So that is also true then because of beings, because of properties. If we have hatred, aversion because of beings, we should pay attention metta meditation. We should practice metta. By using metta meditation, by practicing metta, we can dispel hatred because of being, arising because of being. So in the commentary, give advice according to Agata Vinaya Sutta, Kakachupamo Vada Sutta. You should practice metta meditation. Agata Vinaya Sutta. We have already taught. Someone has only good action about their body. Bodily action only good. Verbal action not good. Mental action not good. If so, we should pay attention bodily action only to produce metta. To dispel hatred. Some are speaking only good. Bodily action is not good. Mental also not good. If so, we should pay attention only speaking to produce metta to dispel hatred. Some bodily action also not good, verbal action also not good. But he say mental action is good. Mental action is good. So sometimes we can see someone who has good mental action. Maybe he may pay respect to the Buddha sometimes. He may practice meditation sometimes. Maybe he may listen Dhamma sometimes. So by seeing this, we can know that person has a good mind. His mental action sometimes is good, although he has bad bodily action, bad verbal action. Sometimes we can know his mental action. Mental action is good because sometimes he do good thing. By seeing that, we know that person has sometimes a mental action. If so, we should pay attention only mental action to produce metta, to dispel hatred because of that person. So another one is bodily. Everything is no good, all are bad. If so, how to do? How to do is, if your children is very bad, how to pay attention? You should reflect this. You may have compassion. You may have compassion. Everything he is bad about everything. So for this life, for him, it is not good. For the future also, he will go to the woeful states. So his life is, every situation of his life is very bad. By thinking like that, you should have compassion. If so, you can remove hatred arising because of person. So if you see someone who has good for everything, if so, for those, you can choose everything. If you see verbal action, it is also good. Mental action, bodily action, everything he is good about everything. For those, you pay attention everything to produce metta. To produce metta. If you can produce metta, you can dispel hatred or anger arising because of person. In this way, we should practice to dispel anger arising because of person. So another thing, due to property, sometimes we have hatred, anger due to property. Internet is very slow. Connection is not good. Need to fulfill kanti perfection. Kanti is how to translate. Forbearance. Forbearance. In Myanmar, have joking. One bhikkhu told, give a Dhamma talk. If you want to practice forbearance, kanti, or patience, okay? Kanti. If you want to practice patience or forbearance, you should use internet. I put into the internet how to practice forbearance. Because in Myanmar, internet is very slow. So, Bhikkhu say, I put Dhamma talk, how to practice forbearance into the internet. So mostly, if we use internet, have to wait long time. By using internet, anger arises. That kind of anger is because of properties. So we need to know the way how to dispel, how to dispel that kind of anger. But in the literature mentioned, sometimes because of stems of tree, because of thorns of the tree, because of grass, because of leaves, we have angry. Maybe Bhikkhu stay into the forest. Only stem disturb him, maybe. So because of those, sometimes we have anger. If so, we should use 4-element meditation. We should pay attention 4-element method. 4-element method is earth element, water element, fire element, wind element. That is 4 elements. Into the stamp, there is 4 elements. Into the everything, there is 4 elements. We should see that by seeing that those elements, we should reflect like that. What makes me angry? Do the 4 elements make me angry? Earth element make me angry. Do you have angry to the earth elements? Do you have angry to the fire element? Should ask ourselves. By seeing elements, this element make me angry. Is this element make me angry? Do you have angry because of earth elements? Do you have angry because of water elements? Like that, should reflect, should classify the object as a 4 elements. So if so, you may not see as a stump of the tree. You may not see as a grass. You may see as a 4 elements. If so, can dispel angry. Another thing is who has angry? Who is angry? Other element is angry. Is other element angry? Is water element angry? Like that. What is angry? You'll find out. In this way, we should dispel anger. We should dispel anger because of property, arising because of property. So that is the way to dispel anger. So to make a summary, to summarize, we need to say again. To dispel anger arising because of person, we should use metta meditation. To dispel anger arising because of objects, we should use a 4-element meditation, 2-way. So another thing is a delusion. Delusion is moha. Moha is opposite of knowledge. Opposite of knowledge. So to dispel delusion, what can we use? Stay with respectable teacher or approach a respectable teacher to dispel delusion, opposite of knowledge, opposite of wisdom. Learning in Dhamma, learning and reciting in Dhamma. Asking questions about what has been learned. Listens to the Dhamma in a timely manner. decide what is right and what is wrong. All are 5 things. First one is stay with the respectable teacher. If you should stay, you stay with the respectable teacher. You can get knowledge. You can dispel delusion, moha. We have some rules. If we want to go out, bhikkhu want to go out, we have to inform another bhikkhus. I will go out in the evening time. But sometimes we forget. So if we stay with the respectable teacher, if we forget that kind of case, respectable teacher gives punishment. You should carry 100 water pots because of forgetting this case. So later cannot forget. Like that. If we learn something, if we recite wrongly, he may give punishment. So we already respect. Mostly we cannot forget. We have to be careful. So in this way we can get knowledge. We can dispel. In the same way, learning in Dhamma also can dispel delusion. Reciting in Dhamma, making a question, if we have doubts, we have delusion, by making a question can dispel that delusion. Another thing, listening in the Dhamma according to time or timely, that is also can dispel delusion. Next one is deciding what is right or what is reasonable, what is not reasonable. That is also can dispel delusion. We have learned, after learning, we should decide, we should make a decision when we see problem, that is reasonable or not, according to learning. Have to use practically, have to think, have to give answer for others, have to make a decision, what is wrong, what is right, what is reasonable, what is not reasonable. We should use our learning. That is deciding what is right, what is wrong. By doing like that, we can dispel delusion. That is the way to dispel delusion. All are 5 things: approach, respectable teacher, learning, asking, listening in Dhamma, making a decision. All are 5 things. So in the Sutta, that is from the commentary, in the Sutta, give simile. The simile is the carpenter, or there is a carpenter, or the disciple of carpenter. If he want to remove the cause of the cause peg, if he want to remove, he want to knock out the one peg, the cause peg, have to use another small, fine peg. By using like that, can remove the old one. In the same way, if we have unwholesome thoughts, we should think another object connected with wholesomeness. That is a simile. Unwholesome thought is the old peg. Wholesome object is the new peg. So knocking out, removing out is dispelling unwholesome thoughts. So in the Sutta, the Buddha gave that simile. So that is the first method to dispel unwholesome thoughts, about their greed, about their anger, about their delusion. So here there is a question. Question is like that. If we practice Dhamma, meditation, many people say we cannot change the objects. We always need to pay attention to original objects. For example, Anapana. We cannot change objects. But here the Buddha gave to change, the method to change. So, not to change is, if you are okay by practicing Anapana, you should not change objects. You should pay attention only Anapana. But if you have unwholesome thoughts within practicing, so you can change objects. Another thing is, there is a question. Can Anapana dispel? Can't Anapana dispel unwholesome thoughts? That is the question. Anapana also can dispel unwholesome thoughts. Every meditation method can dispel unwholesome thoughts. But the way given here is the best way. In the commentary, gave simile to stop fire, to extinguish the fire. We can use many things by covering with sand. Using another thing, we can stop the fire. But to stop the fire, water is the best. Water is the best. In the same way, when we practice Anapana meditation, if we have unwholesome thoughts, we should use this method. This method is the best way to dispel delusion, to dispel anger, to dispel craving. For example, Asubha is the best way to dispel craving. The Metta is the best way to dispel anger. Like that. So we should go another method. Another method is by practicing first method, if we cannot dispel our unwholesome thoughts, we should change another method. Another method is should examine the unwholesome thoughts. These thoughts are unwholesome. They are reprehensible. They are blameworthy. They result in suffering. Should reflect like that. These thoughts can produce bad results like that. Should reflect the danger of unwholesome thoughts. The danger of unwholesome thoughts. That is another way. These thoughts are blameworthy. These thoughts are unwholesome. These thoughts can produce the bad results. Should reflect like that. The Buddha gave simile, just as a man or a woman. There is a man, a woman. She or he is young, youthful, and fond of ornaments. If someone hang around his neck with carcass of dog, carcass of snake, carcass of human, how to be? That person how to be? He is young, is youthful, fond of ornaments, but someone hang around his neck with the carcass of dog, human, or snake. Carcass is corpse. So that person would be horrified, humiliated, or disgusted, because that is very disgusting, very foulness. He is young, youthful, fond of ornaments. So in the same way, if we have unwholesome thoughts, if we reflect upon the danger of unwholesome thoughts, that is blameworthy, that is unwholesome, that can produce woeful state like that. If we reflect, we examine like that, we can dispel unwholesome thoughts. So that is the second way to dispel unwholesome thoughts. So there is a commentary's explanation to be more clear. Sometimes the person has no knowledge. He may not know the danger of unwholesome thoughts. If so, he should approach preceptor or other Dhamma friends to know the danger of unwholesome thoughts. Maybe preceptor may teach the danger of unwholesome thoughts. Next thing is, according to commentary, hit the monastery bell to collect many bhikkhus. If can collect many bhikkhus, among those, there may be someone who has knowledge about the danger of unwholesome thoughts. So that person may teach how to think the danger of unwholesome thoughts. If so, we can get knowledge. So we can reflect the danger of unwholesome thoughts. Another thing is, in the literature, we may have learned some dhammas to dispel greed, to dispel delusion, like that. That kind of teaching we call Kaya Vaichendaniya Katha. Kaya Vaichendaniya Katha is Dhamma words which can cut off attachment to the body of oneself, of others. That is to dispel lust. So about the foulness, like that, about the 32 parts, you may have learned. If so, you can reflect these also. So that is the second method. Second method is should examine the danger of unwholesome thoughts. So we should go the third method. Number 3. So by using previous two ways, if you cannot dispel your unwholesome thoughts, maybe unwholesome thoughts is very strong. If very strong, you should use another next method. You should try to forget those thoughts, and you should not give attention to them. That is the third method. You should try to forget those thoughts and should not give attention to them. To forget something, it is not easy. To remember, it is maybe easy. If you try to 1 or 2 days, you may remember. But to forget, it is difficult. It is difficult. Trying to forget those thoughts, not that they should not give attention to them. So the Buddha gave simile. There is a person with good eyes. Yeah. he may find someone or something, but he doesn't want to see him. How to do? He closes his eyes. He look away his eyes. He shut his eyes. He look away his eyes. By doing like that, he can forget. He should pay attention those objects which can produce unwholesome thoughts. Should not pay attention the objects which can produce unwholesome thoughts. So that is from the Sutta. So in the commentary mentioned about this to be more clear. So you may have some Sutta you have learned. So you should recite loudly. You should recite loudly to forget unwholesome thoughts. It defeats all of Goa. Like that, you should recite loudly. If so, you can dispel unwholesome thoughts. Here, example is for the bhikkhu. Bhikkhu have to stay into the forest. He may carry some properties to use in the forest with the bag. So that bhikkhu should reach for his bag, unfold his bag. After that, he take out his journal, written inside the quality of Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. So by reading this journal loudly, can dispel unwholesome thoughts, can try to forget original thoughts which can produce unwholesomeness. So can take out other things. For example, this is a knife to shave. This is in the ancient time, to produce fire have to use wooden. Wooden is under wooden, upper wooden. Have to use. This is under wooden to produce fire. This is upper then to produce fire, like that. This is a thread. This is a rope. This is a nail. This is a knife to cut nail. Have to do one by one. Have to. Another thing is he can perform other jobs, other tasks. Can clean the monastery. Can saw the ropes, like that. Can wash the ropes to forget unwholesome thoughts. So that is the way to forget unwholesome thoughts. Not to pay attention the original unwholesome thoughts. So have to do. If we have unwholesome thoughts, we have to clean Buddha's image, change the water, flower, like that. If so, can dispel unwholesome thoughts. It is good. So in the commentary, give story, ancient story. In the ancient time, and there is a bhikkhu, preceptor, and disciple. Disciple is a Samanera. Samanera is bored to stay in the Buddha's dispensation, so want to disrobe. So he informed to the teacher, preceptor. So at that time, the preceptor said, here my place is no good. It is very difficult to get water. I want to change another place. I want to go to the mountain. This monastery is for the Sangha. I want to stay into the kuti, individual kuti. So please make the kuti for me on the mountain. So the Samanera have to go onto the mountain by carrying his teacher and other properties. Have to do the cave, have to clean the cave. At that time, the Samanera do also reciting Sanyutta Nikaya, learning Sanyutta Nikaya, practicing Vipassana. The same time he do 3 things. One is to clean, to do cave or monastery kuti for the preceptor. Have to learn Sanyutta Nikaya. Have to practice Vipassana. The same time he have to do 3 things. He may forget original thoughts. So later the cave also finished. He have learned Sanyutta Nikaya. He have practiced Vipassana. He can gain the 8 absorption by practicing Tejogasana. At that time he reports his teacher, I have done all. So at that time the teacher know now his concentration is improved. So the teacher told Samnera, you have to make this kuti with much effort. First of all, you should stay into the kuti. Because you have to make with much effort. So the Samneras stay into the kuti by practicing meditation. Into the kuti can get good weather. With the existence, because of the existence of good weather, he can increase his Vipassana. He can attain arhatship into the kuti, into the cave. So later he passed away into the Prinnibbana. Until now there is a Chetiya, Chatupa, Tesa Thera Chetiya. Inside that stupa there is relics of that Samanera. So that stupa is Tesa Thera Chetiya. That is a story. By using this method, Samanera increased his Vipassana. So the teacher arranged to change his thoughts. So some teacher in Myanmar also use. If someone want to disrobe, some Samanera want to disrobe, the teacher very clever. Please wait. You should do this. So make the time to wait. So later, the young time is very easy to change their mind. So change the mind. In this way, become the older bhikkhu. So do like that. So after dispelling unwholesome thoughts, we can reflect upon our main object. To use this method is to dispel unwholesome thoughts only. After dispelling unwholesome thoughts, we should go back our main object to increase. If so, we should pay attention our main. We can pay attention our main object because of lack of disturbance of unwholesome thoughts. So we should go the third method, the fourth method. Fourth method is the name of Sutta, Vitakkasaṇṭhāna. That is, according to fourth method, the bhikkhus give the name. So the name is a part of Sutta only. A part of Sutta only. According to fourth method, senior bhikkhus in the ancient time give the name. Fourth method is Vitakkasaṇṭhāna. Give attention to the origin of thoughts. Give attention to the causes of thoughts. Causes of thoughts. Cause, go back. What is the cause of these thoughts? What is the cause of these thoughts? Like that. Have to go back. The cause of thoughts. So, Vitakkasaṇṭhāna is the cause of unwholesome thoughts. That is improper attention. Another cause. What is the cause of improper attention? Perversion of perception. Like that. Have to go back. Cause, like that. Have to go back. By reflecting like that, unwholesome thoughts become weaker. Finally, will stop. If so, we can continue our main object. Improper attention is subha, we pay attention. Asubha, we pay attention as a subha. Anicca, impermanence, we pay attention as a nature. That is improper attention. So what is the cause of improper attention? Perversion of perception. We perceive wrongly because of lack of knowledge. We perceive asubha as a subha. We perceive anicca as a nature. We perceive suffering as a pleasure. Like that. That is the perversion of perception. So, actually, to dispel the perversion of perception is when we become arhatship, we can dispel perversion of perception. Not to know only. So, in the Sutta, gave simile. Just as a man walking fast might consider, why am I walking fast? He think like that. Why am I walking fast? What if I walk slowly? And he will walk slowly because walking slowly is more comfortable. So later again he consider, why am I walking slowly? What if I stand? By thinking like that, he will stand because standing is more comfortable. So later he can continue his thinking. Why am I standing? What if I sit? And he would sit. Then he might consider, why am I sitting? What if I lie down? And he would lie down. By doing so, he would substitute for each grosser posture one that was subtler. So too, when a bhikkhu gives attention to the causes of thoughts, his mind becomes steadied and can dispel unwholesome thoughts. If so, his mind becomes steady, become concentrated, mentioned like that. So to use this method, we shall find out the cause like that. It is sure the cause of unwholesome thoughts is improper attention. The cause of improper attention is perversion of perception. So should reflect like that. You perceive wrongly. Finally, you will find perceive wrongly. So, for those who pay attention to the cause of thoughts and the cause of thoughts, his thoughts become less and less and finally stop. That is the aim, to use this method. In the commentary, give a story about the rabbit. A rabbit. There is a rabbit. It sleeps under the Belua tree. Belua tree is a Pali term. Pali term, like sometimes translates bill or bell tree. Stone apple, like hard. There is a fruit that is very hard, round, can fall down if the fruit ripe. So the rabbit sleeps under that tree. The fruit fall down near him. So the rabbit has nature, fear, has the nature of fear. That is the rabbit nature. So now because of sound, noisy sound, he become fear. So he ran. His thinking is the earth become destroyed. His thinking. So because he sleep under the tree, suddenly fall down the fruit fall down near him. So he become fear. So run quickly. By thinking like that, the earth become destroyed. So at that time, other animals also see him. So why do you run? So the earth become destroyed. You also should run. So every animal run like that. So in one place there is a lion. He is Bodhisattva, but Bodhisattva has knowledge. If they run like that, they may go into the sea. So or become dying, can die. So I shall find out the reasons, the causes. I shall find out the causes. So by thinking like that, the lion go to the animal groups. They are running. So the lion asked it, first of all, elephants, why do you run? Oh, the earth destroying. Who say like that? So have to find out cause who say. Later find the rabbit. So the earth destroyed. Do you see? I see. If so, please show me. So the lion call, carry the rabbit. So the rabbit showed the place. So Bodhisattva check the place, and there is a fruit. So rabbit sleep this place. The fruit fall down near him. Because of noisy sound, you think the earth become destroyed. So that is the perversion of perception. So the perversion of perception produce wrong thoughts or unwholesome thoughts. So you should try to dispel the perversion of perception. Perversion of perception is this is me, that is others. That is my son, that is my daughter, that is Suva, like that. That is a perversion of perception. So perversion of perception is can produce unwholesome thoughts. That is the cause of unwholesome thoughts. So by finding the causes of unwholesome thoughts, we can dispel unwholesome thoughts. If so, we can continue our practicing. We should go back our main objects. So now we should go the fifth method, the last method. If you cannot dispel in 4 ways, previous 4 ways, you should use final one. Final one. So final one is, if you have unwholesome thoughts with the teeth clenched and his tongue pressed against the roof of his mouth, you should do the teeth clenching. your tongue should rest against the roof of mouth. Like that. Maybe that is an Asian style. To produce efforts. To make efforts. Press the teeth each other. The tongue pressed against the roof of mouth. The roof of mouth. So by doing like that, you should beat down, concentrate, and crush mind with mind. Because you have unwholesome thoughts. You should beat your unwholesome thoughts with wholesome thoughts by making strong efforts. Because there is no way to use. That is the last way. The last way is you need to do effort. You need to produce great effort. So need to press the teeth each other. Need to press the tongue. Need to press against the roof. After that, you should beat down you should beat down unwholesome mind with wholesome mind. So the Buddha gave simile in the Sutta. Just as a strong man might seize a weaker man by the head or by the shoulders and beat him down. Beat him down. Yeah, strong man is wholesome thought. Should be wholesome thoughts. You cannot change. Weaker man is should be unwholesome thoughts. You should not change wrongly. So, to use this method, in the commentary, give explanation more. So you should ask yourself, like that, unwholesome thoughts, who are you? Unwholesome thoughts, do you know who am I? Who am I? So ask like that to make effort. Unwholesome thoughts, who are you? Unwholesome thoughts, do you know who I am? So by making this question, you should practice. You should beat down unwholesome thoughts with wholesomeness. So maybe for the practitioner is his main object Anapana. So you should use Anapana only. I will pay attention only Anapana. I will not pay attention other objects which can produce unwholesome thoughts. I will not pay attention about my home, which can produce to go back. So beat down, by making great effort. Great effort is in the literature mentioned. Let the flesh and blood in my body dry up, leaving just the skin, sinews, and bones. I will only do Anapana Sati. So you have many flesh, many flesh, many blood. So by thinking like that, you should beat down unwholesome thoughts with wholesomeness. If so, you can dispel unwholesome thoughts. By dispelling like that, you can increase your meditation. You may become concentrated. So now there are five methods. First one is to change objects. Second one is what? First, reflect on the danger of unwholesome thoughts. The third one is no, not to see, no pay attention, trying to forget. That is similar to first one. No pay attention, also change object. But first one is opposite to original opposite, or original objects. First one, because if we see as a subha, we change as a asubha, like that. If we have anger, we change as a metta, like that. First one is change opposite, but the third one is no opposite. Do here and there, clean monastery, sorrows, like that. So little bit different. So the fifth method is finding the causes of unwholesome thoughts, or go back the origin of unwholesome thoughts. The fifth method is beating down. Yeah. So that is the fifth method. In the commentary, give simile. Simile is like that. The teacher have to teach the princess about the 5 weapons, how to use the 5 weapons. So after teaching how to use the 5 weapons. So after teaching, he told his disciple, you should go back your country. You should begin. But on the way, if you find the robber, maybe highway robber, you should use these weapons. For example, first of all, you should use the bow. If bow not useful, you should change sword, like that. You should use a sword. Like that, how to use 5 weapons, he teaches. After using these 5 weapons, you can get your country. You can do as a king. So the teacher told the princess. In the same way, the Buddha also teach you to dispel unwholesome thoughts with the 5 methods. By using 5 methods during meditation, if the unwholesome thoughts appear within us, we can use these 5 methods. By using these 5 methods, if we can dispel, we will get concentration. Vipassana will increase within us. If so, we can get our hardship. If so, that is the king. That is the king of the whole country. A hardship. So at the time is the mind is very good. You are the master of thoughts. Master of thoughts is if we want to think this, you can think. If we don't want to think this, you can stay without thinking. But none cannot stay. None cannot stay. So because of this case, to get mastery about the thinking, the Buddha gave these methods. So by using the Buddha's teaching, may you be mastery of thoughts. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So sharing merit. After that, you can get a handout. Handout is better or complete. Repeat after me. Idame nyatina hotu Sukhida hontu nyadayo Idame nyatina hotu Sukhida hontu nyadayo Idame nyatina hotu Sukhida hontu nyadayo Idame bonya Asavakaya Vahang Hotu Idame Bonya Nibbanasa Pachayo Hotu Mama Bonya Bhagam Sabha Sadanam Bhajemi Te Sabbe Me Sama Bonya Bhagam Lavantu Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu